get back in the game. We got to win with 20 elims. Like,
Yeah.
what?
What game?
It's like, dude, you have like 2 right now. It's like, no, we're going to finish about 25.
Yeah, okay.
And that's real. That's real. They do that stuff.
happen. I think Mongrel's definitely one of those passionate players, and he just needs to get that extra boost going for him, you know?
The broadcast was constant action.
2024, I believe.
He got Bucky to
Yeah,
a
he
world
did.
stage LAN
is
event. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the weekly Fortcast. Pfluger, it feels like it's been a little while.
Yeah.
This one's been pushed back just a little bit because FNCS over the weekend. Schedule's been kind of crazy.
We'll delay it a little bit, you know?
yeah.
See what happens.
But, you know, I'm glad that we have the results for FNCS now.
Oh, yeah.
The qualifiers have wrapped up. Qual 1 over. We didn't get to cover the results of Qual 1 in the last episode because we recorded early because I was going out of town to be on the watch party. Now we get to kind of look back on both weeks.
Yeah, because I was out of town, you know, at a wedding. So now we delayed it a little bit. Now we get to like actually talk about the whole FNCS, which is nice.
And it works now because obviously we get the overwhelming picture. We have upper and lower brackets already locked in. And there's been some shocking results across the board. I say shocking, but also some not so shocking results coming out of duos we expected to do well.
True.
Overall, though, the qualifiers have been a blast to watch.
Yeah, no, I've been watching I watched like the beginning of it because like later on in the week there's like some tournaments and stuff that we play like every week. So it's like I watched a little bit of it, but then I have to stream all that good stuff. But from what I've seen, it's nice.
Oh, well, so I really thought when they announced the format for this season, I was worried. I was like, okay, no set lobbies.
Yeah.
It's gonna be super sketch, Mickey Mouse FNCS.
Yeah.
And now I see why they did it. I understand now, obviously, Blast getting their 4-year deal, commercial rights, they're a lot more involved. I see why the top 250 finals format for qualifiers, I see why they went that way. The broadcast was constant action.
Really?
Because they always had lobbies to jump to that were in endgame.
True.
So it was just go, nonstop. It cuts out a lot of that boring mid-game stuff where it's just color casting, filling in the empty space, just theorizing how the end game might go down. You're going straight out of an end game, straight into like a 5th or 6th zone.
That's perfect. That's like what Ozzy does now.
Yeah, no,
that's like perfect.
Because that's basically how he bases his POV selection is like who's an end game.
Yeah, exactly.
Watch. Now the official broadcast getting those end games.
Nice. That's what we love to see. Let's go.
It's great from a viewer perspective. It's awesome. But there has been some downsides as far as like players and lobby performance because with set lobbies before, it was like, okay, it's laggy, but at least it's laggy for everyone, right? If you're in first place, you know second place is dealing with the same thing.
Now it's only certain lobby, like one lobby per, 10 lobbies?
There's the 200 top 250 teams.
Okay.
50 teams per lobby, so 5 lobbies.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, though. So whichever lobby is being spectated at the time is the one that's a little laggy, which makes it difficult. I think the first week, qualifier 1, I really didn't see that impact too much.
Right.
But now going into qual 2, the team to mention, which was dominating on NA through and through in qual 2 was Clicks and Epic Whale. They were doing so well. I don't think they had any victory royales, but they were just so consistent in endgame up until basically the last hour.
Yeah, they were like consistently like top 10, top 5?
They were in first.
Really?
For basically the first 2 hours.
Oh my gosh.
They were dominating, doing so well up until basically 300 points. I think they were at 288, and then they got into a lobby. Of course, being in first place, they get spectated, and they just basically waste an entire 25-minute, 23-minute game.
Yeah.
For what equivalently was like less than 10 points.
I mean, it's the spectators. I mean, you know what? I think first week it was worse. I think they had 15 spectators in the first qualifiers.
It definitely was. But now this was the first time where I saw like legitimately because of that game, because of the timing, because they were getting spectated, they got knocked out very early, 10 points, wasted half an hour basically on a game that was worth nothing. They dropped out of the top 10 and finished out of it. They were in first basically for the first 2 hours, and because of the way the pacing where they wasted half of their last hour in that game, drop out of top 10.
I mean, that's crazy. But now we are heading into the semifinals. So at least they did make the upper bracket.
Yep, they did. They locked that in week 1, I think, or close to it.
No, I would like to talk about this. So top 50 move on, right? To semifinals, upper bracket. 52nd, Seek and Dash. They got top 50 both weeks and didn't qualify for top or upper.
Yeah, it's hard.
They got 52nd. They were that close, and making both top 50 each week is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Not qualifying for it.
It definitely was rough. And I mean, because so many teams, especially with the way the format is with top 250, the stacked lobbies, it's a lot easier to be consistently good in a lobby like that. Because if you're good fighters, you communicate well, you can easily consistently place in the top 5, top
That's
10 in top 250 lobbies because you're getting filler teams that are in those games. You're not facing Booga and Aviv every single time off spawn. You know, you're gonna get a team.
A little mix up, every once in a while.
If you place top 3, top 5 in the qualifiers or into like in semifinals before finals, you're not going to get contested by another team that's in the top 5 to 10 every single game. It could be a team that plays 245th or something, right? Which is basically a free 2 elims.
I mean, we'll take that. Hey, we'll take that elim.
Yeah, so it's a good balance. Which,
it is.
Which is why it's no surprise that we saw the teams show out in the qualifiers that did. Which is interesting. I guess we'll talk about it. Qual 2 coming out of NA, the champions, Baka and Pars, which is a awesome duo.
Yes, they've been around for a while.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see they're sticking around, popping off, you know.
They're one of those few that they've been together for many years now.
Yeah, I mean, West Coast representing.
Yeah, and coming over now, they're doing very well, evidently, qualifying all the way in the upper bracket, and the champions in Qual 2.
Yeah.
But the first place in series points, for anyone at home who doesn't know, besides placing well on the leaderboards in each qualifier, depending on where you finish, you're going to accumulate a certain number of series points, which goes on to a even larger leaderboard, which is how the upper and lower bracket teams were determined. So there is a leaderboard within a leaderboard, which is combined, which is accumulated from the summary of 2 other leaderboards.
Right,
it's hard to follow.
Yes, but from that leaderboard, top 50 move on to upper bracket, top 250 move on to lower.
Yep. So. And the winner, the first place in series points out of both of the qualifiers, my prediction for the entirety of FNCS from the season, I said this before the very first qualifier, Reet and Witch will come out on top. Man,
they're looking good.
They look so good, like scary good.
First week, 6 out of 8 games they won. 1 second place out of that
it's nuts.
Was disgusting to watch.
Absolutely absurd.
That was crazy.
The style that they approach every single game and the aggression that they bring into every single engagement.
And they're so calm about it. Like, did you watch the video on it?
Oh, dude, there's no freaking... I'll watch Reet hit the craziest clip.
There was nothing.
The most insane 1v2 we've ever seen, and he's just like, dope.
That's pretty cool.
It's like, cool, I'm gonna grab a reboot card. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Get back in the game. We got to win with 20 elims. Like, what?
Okay.
It's like, dude, you have like 2 right now. It's like, we're going to finish about 25.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's real. That's real. They do that stuff.
It happened.
Oh, man. They finished qualifier 1, first place, right out the gate. Boom. First place finish. Qualifier 2, 5th place. Still super solid. Qualifier 2, the points were much lower from qualifier 1 as far as like what qualifies up.
Okay.
I think people are getting a lot more used to that style. It's interesting because it really does. Each round is different. Round 1 definitely like a W key, but it's top 2,000, so you can play placement. You're fine. To get top 1,000 from there, it's the teams that are fighting because you can get the 1 pop off game with 2 points per elimination. They're chilling.
It's free.
And it's a lot of filler teams at that point going into top 250. You have the people who are just aggressing, and it's frustrating at times. I say this because I competed in this last qualifier, made it in top 2,000 to round 2, and I'm just getting W keyed in like the weirdest places.
I'm dead.
I mean, like, because it works in this format, right? You can play hyper aggressive, you can make dumb pushes, and it works.
Yeah.
Which I know a lot of people are trying to pin Reet and Ritual's success on the fact that they're so aggressive and they make some dumb pushes at times. Absolutely, watching Reet pop a Flowberry and dive off the top of island onto a duo. But I mean, will it transfer into grand finals?
Now, I do want to bring up another team that was looking pretty solid as well. That is also another team that does, like King, dropped a 43 elimination game, round 3. Peter Polo. Oh, they got second place both qualifiers. They're looking pretty solid also. You know, Reet getting first place qualifier 1, 5th place qualifier 2. I mean, second place back to back is kind of crazy.
No, Peter and Polo are crazy consistently.
Yeah, exactly.
They look really solid. It's a new duo, so it's hard to really bet for them because new duos are. without the history, there's so many like duos in FNCS right now that have like long lineages of success. On NA, of course, EU is a completely different story right now.
Oh yeah.
But NA, there's a lot of long-term duos. And Peterbot and Puyo are definitely one of the ones that are like could really do something.
Some good duos. Like I've been looking at like the teams and stuff, and I'm like, this is gonna be a good FNCS, like one to remember.
Oh, it's gonna be so much fun.
It's gonna be really
NA
good.
looks so stacked. Every leaderboard, it's like OG, grand finalist, FNCS champion, grand finalist.
Whoa, what is happening?
It looks so good.
It's gonna be good. I'm actually so excited for grands.
And maybe it's just because I've been watching it for so long now. I recognize everyone, but I feel like all of the big namers who create content that have been around for years are up there right now. None of them are having issues. Yeah. It just looks so good. But I mean, of course, we have upper bracket success stories. We also have some people falling short in the lower brackets. Some notable teams coming out of NA: Quanti and Bila, Blake and Macwood, Bucky and Okus,
That's a big one.
Scented and Tahi, and Degen and Larson. I think the biggest surprises to me, Scented, Bucky and Okus, and Quanti and Bila, those three teams.
Yeah, there were also, I was like listing off these. There's definitely a lot more to be named. And I didn't want to fit all of them on there.
No, I mean, there's so many different teams to follow.
Yeah, exactly.
But notably, I think those three in my mind on this short list, of course, are very notable. Bucky and Okus qualifying to global championships last year. To see them in lower bracket
is crazy.
It's interesting.
You know, it's interesting, but I mean, I'm not surprised because, you know, they do end up trolling a little bit, but...
okay, you say they very loosely. You mean Bucky.
I mean Bucky.
Does a little trolling.
A little bit of trolling. I mean,
it is funny because when Bucky started working with a coach, with Chocolata,
yeah,
I was so hyped. I was hyping him up last year, and I was like, this is great. This is what Bucky needed. Now their coach is trolling just as much. You see, he'll be in the call doing like the stretched red
I saw that. That was such a good clip.
Dude, it's so good.
That was such a good clip.
Granted, certain duos thrive in environments like that are super laid back. I think Bucky is definitely one of those players, but at times you need to reel it back.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta,
and then, isn't Shako, I think Shako's coaching Moneymaker now, and Mr. Savage's Mongrel.
And Cooper and Miro still.
Wow. I mean, he's up there for like...
I'm not going to lie. When he didn't win Coach of the Year, I was kind of pissed.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I was a little bit upset. Of course, I've talked to him a couple times in the DMs, you know, so maybe I'm a little bit impartial. I haven't interacted with Blood. Blood being I'm pretty sure Blood X won 2023 Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
And I think the year prior as well.
Yeah.
So to see Chocolata not win it, I was like, come on now, global champs.
2024, I believe.
He got Bucky to a world stage LAN event.
Crazy.
And we're going to say he's not like one of the best coaches on the planet right now? Be for real.
Yeah, for sure.
But again, another year to prove himself. Bucky and Okus, I think they can make it happen. Of course, I want to see the comeback story.
Dude, his storyline with like all of it is
it's nuts.
It's crazy.
The ups and downs are crazy.
Oh,
I mean, Bucky is out of control recently, though, man. I've seen him say some crazy stuff on Twitter. Bashing some close friends of mine, too. I was just like, dude, like... someone needs to log this man out of Twitter sometimes.
Oh my gosh. And I think he's getting signed to Org soon.
Oh, I wouldn't. Dude. I mean, he's such a huge content creator, right? He is an asset. He's also like the biggest liability.
It's kind of crazy.
He just needs to get it under control a little bit. To see Scented and Tahi in lower bracket as well. Scented, arguably one of the greatest IGLs, greatest players of all time. Man, I'm like, geez, dude.
I mean, it's like, what? Are you serious? How did they go lower bracket?
I just need Scented to lock in,
and then
bro.
there are some teams in the upper bracket I'm like kind of surprised about, like being up there. Like I'm like, really? How did they make it up there?
The format is weird. It isn't a set lobby, so it is difficult at times. If you can be contested by random teams, like off spawn situation is
I'm sure that's what happens. Like most of them.
There's a lot left up in the air.
Yeah.
So. There's no judgment set on any of these teams as far as how they're going to do when it comes to grand finals.
Right. It's a whole different story.
Yeah.
No set lobbies yet, pretty much. So
yeah,
we'll have to see how upper bracket goes.
Which everybody knows, set lobbies compared to like even a top 250 lobby, a completely different world.
It really is.
They are not the same. The players who do well in top 250, it takes in a completely different skill set to do well in a set lobby.
Experience also, it's completely different.
No, yeah, you. It's a completely different prep story, a completely different practice regimen. It is not the same game.
No, it's not.
But let's move over on to EU, man. We just talked about NA. EU qualifier 2 winning just this last, literally just yesterday, taking out qualifier 2 championship. Janice and Flixie. Janice up there, of course,
the German
man.
boys.
We know it.
Love to
Represent.
see it.
0 ping for the win.
Yes, sir. We'll take it. Hey, we'll take it. No complaints.
And we know there's a lot of boot camps and stuff going on in EU right now.
Yeah.
Seti and Cammy being over at 1 currently.
Speaking of which, didn't they get first place in the series?
Yes, they did. Cammy and Seti, dude, they are like consistently in the top 3. I almost want to say 2 of every single event.
I think they're just the best duo. Like, they got first place invitational, second place globals, first place series leaderboard. Like,
yeah, and then Cammy getting first place at GEA.
Yeah.
I mean, they are always there.
I mean, though, like, is Cammy that guy? He might be.
I think they are. They've
I
earned
think
the
they are.
title.
I mean,
man.
they definitely have.
Cammy's definitely in the
Yeah.
conversation for the GOAT, I think.
100%.
Right now. I'm kind of bummed, man. I just saw both of them have transferred over now fully to they're not doing English content anymore.
Oh, really?
Is it Polish? Right? They're
I think
Polish.
it is. Yeah.
So they're both doing Polish content
That's
now.
interesting. Okay.
Because I saw their editor tweeting and saying that they're no longer working with them because they're not doing English content
Really?
anymore. Which sucks, man. I love watching their videos.
Yeah, dang.
Hearing their comms and stuff. But I mean, of course, not being your first language,
Right.
your communication isn't always going to be there. And these guys have made it very clear that competition comes first to them.
100%. I mean, I don't blame them.
Which is evident with their placements, man. They are
Yeah,
bagging out
exactly.
every single year. And Seti and Cammy continue to be at the top. They got second place in qualifier 1 and then 10th in qualifier 2.
Yep.
Consistently enough, make sure they secure that first place spot. That just shows how volatile EU is. The fact that a
That is
second
true.
place and a 10th place,
Compared to NA being first and fifth, second.
yeah, a second and a 10th to get first place spot,
That
which
is
is
crazy.
like, whoa.
Yeah, that's EU for you, honestly.
Yeah, and the EU is shaking up like crazy right now. I talked about a couple weeks ago about all of the duos that split coming into the season.
Yeah.
Queasy and Veno split. Now Veno playing with Tayson, and then Queasy playing with Thomas HD. The GOAT.
Oh, that's a good duo.
Dude, there's some crazy switch ups on the leaderboards. New forming as well. We had Mongrel and Mr. Savage get back together. Mongrel now competing again. And then, of course, the talk of the town, Phaser and King in the mix as well. And we can talk about some of the results, man. Lower bracket teams on EU. And I think the lower bracket on EU needs to be taken with even less of a grain of salt. Like,
Yes.
You really like
top 250, getting to top 250 on EU out of how many people played. Speaking of which, didn't EU have first qualifier have over 1 million players trying to queue up?
over,
for
I think
the
it was over 1 million players or 1 million teams?
1 million teams is crazy.
I'm not sure.
I think
Either
it's
or,
players.
it's
I think it's
ridiculous.
players.
It's still ridiculous.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy.
I mean, those numbers compared to the last 7C is astonishing.
Yeah.
Astonishing.
And I've been
really.
talking to people, man. Comp is booming
It
right
really
now.
is.
And I say comp, I love Zobo with all my heart. I know you do too, but
Builds comp is looking really good.
Content and builds competitive is booming.
It really is. It really
so
is.
many new players coming in. The algorithm loves it on TikTok, on YouTube right now. So many mainstream content creators. You look at Cypher PK, right? He's collaborating with all of these build pros.
Moneymaker,
Moneymaker and clicks constantly.
Yeah.
You know, like all of these big creators. And he just had Asian Jeff out to Oni Studios.
my
Kirsch was posting
gosh.
some behind the scenes footage of them. They're filming a video together.
Dang, that's awesome.
And man, that's just because comp content bangs right now.
It does.
So if you're a Zerobo player, maybe mix in a little bit of build content. I
A little
know
bit.
you got a brand
I
right now, and I
know,
respect
I
it. In its own right, Zero Build is still popular. But Builds is thriving.
Builds
right
is
now.
thriving. I will admit.
Which is cool to see. This feels like it's a second prime. It's a second wind for comp Fortnite.
Which is nice. It's a nice like breath of fresh air.
Yeah, we're entering a new generation of competitive with this 4-year deal with Blast.
Yep.
Which is awesome, man. To see that I'm reaching new heights just at the beginning of the deal, I can only imagine what's to come in the next 3 years.
Dude, I'm so excited. I'm so excited, man. It's gonna be good.
Dude, yeah, but we were getting a little sidetracked. EU lower bracket teams going into it. Geez, man. Swizzy and Putrick, reigning FNCS champions, man.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Ouch.
We say take it with a grain of salt. It's even less than that because it's like EU is so crazy, dude.
That's true.
It's
that's
all
true.
over the place. It's a massive region.
But them being the FNCS champions going to lower bracket just hurts. It's like a little. It's like pouring alcohol in a wound.
Yeah,
you know?
it's painful.
It is.
And the thing is this new chapter, right? Of course, it brought in a new map, but I feel like it's changed the most gameplay mechanics that we've seen get altered in a very long time all at once.
Yep.
Like brand new weapons that feel really different.
Yeah.
You have attachments coming into it. You have new movement mechanics coming into it. New movement animations, speeds are all off. Like
it feels like a whole new game.
you know,
You said that earlier
and it really
on.
is.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, these guys are talented and have spent years honing in their craft, and I think everyone got set back a little bit coming into this chapter, and it comes down to who's putting in time. And the teams that we know are going to be putting in time no matter what, the Kemi and Setis of the world, they are the ones that are going to fly into this season and do well off the gate, which is why they're at the top of the series leaderboard. But of course, FNCS champions aren't guilty of slacking off.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not. I would be very surprised if they didn't make it upper brackets, even grand finals.
Yeah, I mean, but they got to put the work in. Man.
Oh yeah,
EU especially hardest region.
Yep.
But they're gonna have to work for it. Monroe Mr. Savage are working hard from what I'm seeing, man, but not seeing the results they want to. They seem really frustrated watching them play.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
I know Savage's high hopes. Mongrel seems kind of frustrated with himself at times, and watching him play, man, he doesn't feel like the vibe's not the same. And I know he's older, more mature. But again, like I feel like he's got to let loose sometimes.
Yeah, I agree.
When he's yelling, when his energy's real high, I feel like he just plays better.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's just how people are, though. Like, if people like have that vibe, energy, like people can be like passionate players, right?
Yeah.
I think Mongrel's definitely one of those passionate players, and he just needs to get that extra boost going for him. You know?
Yeah, no, for sure. And hopefully they'll continue to adapt as the season goes on, because I think I could see them in grand finals. I think they could do it, but it's going to be hard.
Oh yeah, for sure.
A big one here that people had high hopes for, and I mean, granted, I'm not going to apply this to anything that I said or predictions on their performance, but King and Phaser in the lower bracket. Still though, grain of salt.
Very impressive.
To make it there, they're moving forward. Their FNC run is not over. It's a new region. It's a new type of player. They're adapting.
They're
learning. And they definitely have upset a few EU pros when they first came over with the way that they like to play.
A little bit, yeah.
A lot of bush camping. Man. But it's okay, man. They're here. They're going to keep going.
They're learning. They're getting better, which is nice. That's all they really needed, honestly. Like a little extra boost, so.
We also see Tripper and Fredoxy down in the lower bracket. Tripper, man, long-term lineage. One of the most professional players you'll meet as well. I mean, he's just like to the point.
Yeah, exactly.
He's always in the conversation.
Oh yeah,
always there. Trulex and Chico as well.
They're also, I feel like, always there. Yeah, seeing them in the lower bracket is kind of crazy.
Yeah,
so.
And I wish I was closer to more of the EU players. I really don't get to interact with them all too much. But it's fun to watch. EU is always good.
Dude,
competition is the highest it could possibly get. And following the players' storylines going into global competition later this year, because it is confirmed there will be a global championship at the end of the year in September, I think is what they said.
September 20th to 22nd?
Yeah, no location or anything else, not announced.
Just the dates.
And we know that there's confirmed going to be a in-person global championship this year. I was so excited for last year's. You better come to this next one. I'm going to be pissed.
I have to.
I have so mad.
I'm telling you, I'm going to every single event this year I can.
Oh, I mean, I'm the same mindset. They're always fun. If you have the means, go to an in-person event.
Yep.
They're always great. Always a good time. You meet so many cool people, and everyone in the building is always passionate about Fortnite.
Oh, yeah.
But moving forward about people passionate about Fortnite, man, FNCS has moved to a virtual show this season. Which is a bummer to see, man, because I know talking to a lot of other people in the esports industry, the FNCS studio that Blast had out in Copenhagen was regarded as the coolest studio in all of esports, basically. They have one of the coolest looking sets ever. If you guys are not familiar and haven't seen the studio, we'll throw up some photos for you.
Oh, yeah.
It is absolutely stunning, and to see them not utilizing it during qualifiers, at least right now, is super sad to see.
Yeah.
But there is a FNCS live studio show this season, not hosted on the Fortnite channel.
Hosted by
our one and only Life with Panda.
Yes, sir.
Hosting the one and only FNCS studio show watch party.
Yep. You got to go out there.
Yeah, I just did. We talked about it just in the last episode, but I was able to go back out, be featured on the first qualifier, and it is running right now. Honestly, I think it's probably live by the time this episode comes out.
Yeah, for sure.
So once you're done watching this, go to twitch.tv/live with Panda and go and watch this the only studio live show for FNCS. They're switching through stream POVs. They've got a clean feed going, and they've got a beautiful trophy on the set as well.
Dude, I was surprised to see that trophy. I'm like,
It's nuts, dude.
It looks sick.
That's courtesy of Ryan Builds It. I want to get him to. I met him in North Carolina. I was talking to him. I was like, we might be able to get one made for the set. Maybe we throw it up on the wall somewhere. I mean, I don't know.
We'll have to see.
But they're also now coming into this week from the Qualifier 1 broadcast to Qualifier 2 broadcast. They're partnered with Prodigy Analytics.
Nice.
They have some really cool live leaderboards running in the background. As well as some awesome stats courtesy of the people over there.
Oh, that's perfect. Nice.
Awesome team. And to see them continuing to grow that broadcast, I'm sure by the time finals comes around with the guests that I'm hearing that are going to be showing up.
Oh, I'm excited.
It's going to be sick, dude.
I'm excited, man. That one's going to be good.
Yeah, I'm like, my finger is hovering over the book button to go back out for finals on trying to book a flight. Dude, seriously, I'm like there with it. But it's an awesome production. It's an awesome activation. So if you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. The VODs are all up. Go take a look. But on top of that, dude, some new signings. Of course, FNCS season, we're used to seeing new signings. Close to home, I know for both of us. Fan favorite at home, Muzz joining Elite.
This one surprised me. I wasn't expecting it.
I had a feeling that Elite would do something coming into the season because it feels like it's been a while since they signed anyone. Polarized. Was Polarized the most recent one?
I think so. And that was like back in chapter 3.
Well, they signed Polarized, and he's like the face of almost all of their content. Him and NPen are like right there. And of course, Polarized collaborating with Cypher PK a lot. So see him on Elite's content. And see them booming because they are uploading consistently as well. Bringing in someone like Muzz, because Muzz is a character, man. Muzz is funny.
Dude, Muzz is one of the funniest people I've ever met.
And I love watching him play because he is
so funny.
so good. And watching the way that he just plays the game, it's fun, man. It's really entertaining. But I think especially, I mean, you wrote it in your notes here with the Esports World Cup being announced and the esports organization part of it. I'm sure there'll be more, man. There's a lot on the line.
I wouldn't be surprised, especially if they announced Fortnite being at the Esports World Cup. I mean, praying.
I don't know anything.
Hopefully, we'll have to see. We'll have to see though.
I am praying every night.
Yep, I am also.
Because, dude,
just invite the top 15 teams back, and I will not say anything else.
Buddy, you gotta go qualify again. Come on. And I just gotta pray. I get an email. Oh man, dude! But Esports World Cup, I'm excited to see if Fortnite's a title, dude. I'll be watching. Hopefully, we're both there.
Hopefully,
and especially with the organization's part of the Esports World Cup, with over $100,000 to sign players and bring them in.
Crazy.
It could be cool. I see a lot of people questioning what actually clarifies as an org. Like, could we sign a player? Could the weekly Fortcast have a player that goes to Esports World Cup and bag out?
Oh my god!
Like, we don't know.
We get float out. Okay, we get float out. Yeah. I'm down.
Could be
Say
cool,
the
man.
word.
Yeah, check out the weekly
Esports
Fortcast.
World Cup. Sign
see,
us.
You see Fortcast Booga.
Fortcast Booga.
That's what his name's gonna be. Fortcast Booga. Yeah, we're gonna be dropping like $25K a month on him.
Dignitas who?
Yeah, what? Who's Dignitas? No, we're hopping on the Fortcast. Baby.
Oh, yes,
Come
sir.
on. Oh,
wearing
dude.
the 100 Thieves merch. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I need the black tape. It's like blocking out FTX on the TSM jerseys. Oh.
That's crazy.
But dude, Fortnite competitive is booming, and apparently Epic is picking up on this because they jumped on the trend. An official Fortnite competitive YouTube channel.
Yeah. I'm actually excited about this one. I feel like it's gonna be similar to like the stories of the Battle Bus.
Oh yeah,
back in the day, dude. I love watching those.
Well, they've been posting like competitive content, but they've kind of it's dropped out. They did a lot in Chapter 3, where they would talk about different things. They would even do zero build stuff.
I think they did
for some events, but now that they've kind of stopped doing that. But now at the launch of it, we saw a mini miner get featured on the video talking about different strategies with Flowberry Fizz, just Flowberries in general, talk about movement mechanics. Granted, a little late on that video. There's been plenty of content put out on that. It's been meta for a while now, but that's just kind of how it goes. I love the idea of Fortnite competitive having a YouTube channel, an active YouTube channel with an official resource.
Oh yeah.
But my thing is that the content on those channels have to go through so many different people to get published. that I think like most of the stuff they're going to be posting is going to be out of date unless they change the way they do things.
Hopefully they're gonna stay on it. So
yeah, I mean, I haven't gotten to work directly with any of the Fortnite competitive YouTube channels or FNCS or anything yet. Hopefully in 2024, but I know that they are very picky about the stuff that they do, and they have to be, right? I mean,
100%.
with the partnerships and the people that they associate their company with, they have to be very careful about stuff. But to see them putting the people behind it and the funding behind it to make this kind of content for people, so they know there's official channel that is vetted and they know that is guaranteed going to be good information is always good and a good reference for anyone at home. So I'm not saying go watch it, but there are some good creators out there that are putting stuff out every single day.
He's saying go watch it.
Hey, definitely go watch it. Go check it out and say W Mini Miner underneath the video.
Yes,
all right?
sir.
Go comment that. Mini Miner's a goat, man, as well as that whole FNCS crew this year. It looks awesome. I'd love to see Adam back on the desk hosting this year.
Let's go.
It's great, man. Missed him at Global Champs, sadly, but to see him on the desk on EU is great. We have Tokata back casting on EU as well with Jacob, right?
I'm pretty sure Jacob was
Tokata and Jacob. And then over on NA, we still have Monster and Taco. Great combos, great group of people over there on FNCS right now. But dude, competitive is booming. It's awesome.
So ready, man. I'm so ready for this year. 2024 is going to be crazy, man.
Yeah. It's just heating up. We'll have more to come. But on top of that, don't think we forgot, we're still going to have the third edition of the top 5 weekly Fortcast clips of the week. Malibuka and Mustache are one of the most OG duos in this FNCS, and it's great to see the vibes are high. Nice!
У него нет патронов, втором шотгане. Есть.
Quinn is nasty with the shots. Booyah!
Team above. Plander. Okay. They're about to hop on me. 50 on one. One shot on one. Absolute one on two. Absolute one on two. They blew themselves up.
20, 40, 100.
Alright, so shocking out. 200 on one. Okay, I hit one. 4 skins, one shot. 30. Yep, 50. Dead.
Clicks and Epic Whale are crazy, but Clicks' bank account might be fat, but this clutch is fatter.
Get out! You ugly, broke, fuck!
Fucking
Come on!
Nah.
Get out of here!
Apparently, Mr. Savage really missed playing with Mongrel.
Oh god. Look at what I'm looking at, guys. Like I just wanna play Fortnite, man. Shh, don't cry.
Life of Panda and BenK got a little too excited over this clutch.
Malibuka is gonna go down, but no! 2 HP in a dream! Malibuka! What are you doing, you psychopath? Now you can only get this action live at twitch.tv/lifewithpanda.
Is the mic okay? It hit the floor pretty hard.
I think so.
And we're back, and clips of the week are always fun. I think we got a nice selection this time. Some good like funny moments as well as some crazy clutches. Everyone is the vibes are high, man.
Oh yeah.
The vibes are so high with competitive and full swing, man. Players are having a good time. The community at home is having an even better time getting to watch them. And we're just getting started. Qualifiers are over. Semifinals are on the way. Upper bracket and lower brackets are kicking off. Not this next week with a bye week.
Yep.
But then week 4, the week after that,
We got upper bracket, lower bracket at the same time, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, something like that. We'll see how the broadcast looks as far as official. We were talking about it a little before.
Yeah.
Not sure what it'll be. But there's more to come. 1 week off. We'll be back next week with a special edition, hopefully a new guest. I'm trying to do some reach outs here. Again, if you guys are watching at home, you made it all the way through. You're obviously a fan of the show. Shoot us a DM. We'd love to have you on and talk about what you guys think about the Fortnite community. Come in here and make fun of us. I don't care.
Just hop on.
Just come on. Just come say hi. Yeah. But that's gonna do it here for us on the weekly Fortcast. We hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and we'll see you in the next one.
Peace.